Italian brand. Is that those 99s?
Oh, I'm sorry.
Cindy, pay attention. Say you're sorry. Say you're sorry.
I heard they have 3 beer gardens this year, so we're going to get some. It's going to be Texas on until then. Well, then after this, I think it's going to be that. Well, look, feel that breeze. Feel that breeze.
The breeze is coming in right now.
That one needs to blow on.
Blow on her?
He found out what happened.
Somebody blow on her, bitch. I guess somebody blow on her.
I'm hot.
I can feel the breeze. It's actually cooling down. And you're all wet. Sorry, I'm not worried. You don't got to worry about it. I won't fall over you. I'm always having a good time. Gotta watch out for somebody else. Yeah, I was going to tell you. Watch out. I don't want to be in there.
Oh, there's one right there. Right there by the teal shirt lady.
Cheers! Cheers!
Hi there, everybody. It is 7:33. I'm Chief Meteorologist Albert Ramon. We're here on CBS News Chicago because we have two updates to give you. We have the first severe thunderstorm warning of the evening that has just been issued for DuPage County with a hail and wind threat. And we also have a brand new severe thunderstorm watch that has been issued for most of the area until 2 a.m. So lots to get to. The Doppler radar remains quiet across Cook County and the city of Chicago. We do have some new thunderstorms that are developing in Kane County. But at this point, the only severe storm that we have right now is along I-88 in portions of DuPage County, moving away from Naperville but approaching Downers Grove right now. The main concern with this thunderstorm, hail the size of a $50 as well as winds up to 60 miles per hour. Torrential downpours with this thunderstorm right along 88 as it's crawling off to the east at only 10 miles per hour. This is a look at a storm track, and we put it into Westmont at 7:35, so here in about a minute, and then Hinsdale at 7:37, Oak Brook at 7:39, and will eventually make its way into west central sections of Cook County within the hour because it is such a slow mover. I think this is the first of many severe thunderstorm warnings, though, that we'll be tracking now through about 1, if not 2 a.m. Here's the main event. Lots of thunderstorm activity right now developing in eastern Iowa and also in southwestern and western sections of Wisconsin. All of this activity will be moving into our area a little bit later on this evening, probably moving into Rockford in about 45 minutes and say an hour and a half into places like Boone County as well as DeKalb County, maybe even McHenry County. And then as we get a little bit closer to the 10 o'clock hour, moving into the city of Chicago, and we'll have widespread risk of severe weather. So just in the last few minutes, a brand new severe thunderstorm watch has been posted. Notice it includes everyone in our viewing area with the exception of LaPorte County, but the city of Chicago and Cook County included in this new severe thunderstorm watch. This means that conditions are favorable for additional severe thunderstorms to fire up, basically exactly what's happening in DuPage, but probably in a much more widespread scale. The main concern for the remainder of the night: damaging winds, flash flooding, and large hail. A secondary threat is a rotating thunderstorm that could produce a tornado. And the reason why we're so concerned about now through about 1 or 2 a.m. with severe weather is we have such a unstable, hot, humid environment. This is a look at the current heat index right now. This is an indication of just how buoyant or unstable our atmosphere is right now, with Morris reporting still at 7:35 a heat index of 110. Still feels like 99 at Midway, 103 Aurora, 104 at McHenry. And ahead of those thunderstorms coming in out of Wisconsin and Iowa, we have heat indices between 104 in Rockford to 113 in Sterling. So the atmosphere extremely unstable. It is primed for additional severe weather to occur as the evening goes on. So the three main threats: damaging winds. At times we could have a few thunderstorms that produce wind gusts up to 70 miles per hour. That's on the table. That one thunderstorm that we're tracking right now in DuPage County, that one is producing around 60 mile per hour winds, but down the road we can have some wind gusts up to 70. Hail, right now, the largest hail on the radar, $50 size, but could we have some hailstones as large as golf balls, if not bigger? That's possible later this evening. And because there's so much moisture in our atmosphere and these thunderstorms are crawling, at least at the moment, moving off towards the east, that could prompt some issues when it comes to flooding. And as a matter of fact, just 10 seconds ago, a flood watch has now been issued until 3 a.m., and that does include central Cook County, so the city of Chicago, DeKalb, DuPage, Will County, Grundy County, King County, virtually everyone. So the flood threat is increasing. That has allowed the Weather Service just moments ago to issue that flood watch for the potential for flash flooding now into the early morning hours for tomorrow for northeastern Illinois, northwestern Indiana, because some of these thunderstorms could produce rainfall rates of 2 inches per hour. That's a lot of rain in a short period of time. And then it's not a zero, but it's a smaller threat with the chance of a tornado popping on up. So this is a look at one of our models. I'll be honest with you, a lot of the data tonight has not been great. It has not been initializing that great. So what we're doing is we're looking at the radar, we're looking at the environment, and we're basically now forecasting because the models have not done a great job on timing. But this is going to give you kind of a broad brush of what's going to happen. Now through 10 o'clock, we see a significant uptick in shower and thunderstorm activity. We believe during the 10 o'clock hour, that's when we could have some of the worst weather in Chicago. Now, the storm that's in DuPage County right now, that could cause a couple of brief problems in Chicago, but much more widespread issues as we get closer to 10 o'clock. This future radar output is saying, hey, it's busy at 8 p.m. in 20, 3 minutes. That's not going to happen. This is going to be out here towards the northwest. Looks like we got a new severe thunderstorm warning for Cook and DuPage County. We'll look at that in just a second. And then as we head a little bit closer to midnight, I think this is what the radar is going to look like at midnight. So the future radar is behind about 2 hours with the worst of the weather kind of along and south of I-88. And then 1, 2, 3 a.m., a lot of this begins to move on out of here. So let's get back to Doppler radar, because we do have that severe weather threat that is now increasing into Cook County and Kane County, and we'll repeat the Doppler radar here in a second. Just a preview of the 7-day forecast. After tonight, the weekend's looking fantastic. So back to Doppler radar we go. Okay, those thunderstorms that we were watching in Kane County, those have now turned severe. So we have 2 severe thunderstorms now. We have this one in central sections of DuPage County, this one moving off to the east at 10 miles per hour, large hail damaging winds with that particular thunderstorm. Let's move over and get you the statistics on this new severe thunderstorm warning that does include St. Charles and central areas of Kane County. We'll make that disappear for a second. And this particular severe thunderstorm out until 8:15. It's a severe thunderstorm warning until 8:15. Main threats here: 60-mile-per-hour winds and the potential for hail the size of 1 1/4, so just below golf ball size. So we're talking ping-pong size hail with this particular thunderstorm. Let's put this into motion, and we will see what this looks like on the Doppler radar. We'll go back to radar mode here, and we'll put this in the loop. So these thunderstorms are firing. See that little green line moving off to the southwest? That's firing along the lake breeze. And the air out here, as we showed you, Aurora is still dealing with heat indices above 105. So the air mass is super, super unstable. That's why these thunderstorms have developed here in the last several minutes and tracking off towards kind of the east, right along that boundary. So we'll be watching them as they get a little bit closer into Cook County. So this particular severe thunderstorm warning, we said it does include portions of Cook County. It's a very small part of Cook County. This kind of arm, this northwestern arm of Cook County, does not include Schaumburg, but it does include Bartlett, and then southward into DuPage County as these thunderstorms really have just fired up. You see just in the last couple of minutes there. So we'll go back to the broad view, and we'll give you an update on everything that's going on. We do have 2 severe thunderstorms on the map right now, 1 DuPage County, 1 Kane County, both drifting off towards the east like so, both coming in with 2 threats: 60-mile-per-hour wind gusts and large hail, the size of ping pongs, half-dollar size hail, so kind of an upper scale severe thunderstorm. This is just firing along that front coming in off the lake. The main event is still out here, and this is the stuff that gets here a little bit later on tonight. We do have that severe thunderstorm watch also that has just been posted. That does include everyone but LaPorte County, and that's for the potential for additional severe thunderstorms that develop now through 2 a.m. So earlier here on CBS News Chicago, we were talking about midnight and beyond, things will improve. Well, we have to keep that severe weather risk now up until 2 a.m. and then beyond 2 a.m. we're going to be in good shape. So that's in pink, that Pepto-Bismol pink, that severe thunderstorm watch that has been posted. One thing before we send you back to programming, it's going to be a long night, so we're going to pace ourselves. We'll pop in as needed. We're not going to go continuous just yet. But one thing that we are going to be keeping an eye on is if any of these thunderstorms produce rotation. And I'm looking here that there was a funnel cloud spotted near Carroll Stream in DuPage County. Doesn't mean that it was a tornado, it means that it was just a funnel. So let's see if we can see any rotation out of these thunderstorms, and potentially a little bit here back off towards the west of St. Charles. Very little. So we'll go back to radar. We'll see what this looks like on the radar. Yeah, so maybe kind of right in here, back off towards the south of Campton Hills. A little bit of broad rotation, no big deal. And we'll go back to the velocity scan, see what else we see. Nothing tight on the rotation part of it. If for some reason the rotation gets stronger and they issue a tornado warning, before they issue a tornado warning, we'll go continuous here on CBS News Chicago and of course on TV as needed. But at this point, I don't see anything tight when it comes to rotation. So some of this stuff, even kind of this, see this little curly Q right there, little comma shape. You can get, a little bit of rotation there, but I don't see anything at the moment. And we'll go back to Doppler radar. I think we're good there, and we'll look at these thunderstorms here in southern sections of DuPage County, and while we're just looking at velocity, we'll see if any of these are rotating, and they're not. So we're in good shape right now. It's just heavy rainfall, threat of damaging winds with these thunderstorms, and even some hail, and you can pick out where the hail is right now. Hail core there, these brighter colors, these purple colors. This is where you have quarter plus size hail between Wayne and Campton Hills, well to the south of Elgin, and then back here towards the west of Blackberry, also a little hail core developing there. Overall, the biggest hail producer at the moment is in DuPage County. We'll kind of slide this off so we can get a closer look. So you see there's a lot more purple embedded here to the north of 88 with this slow moving thunderstorm moving off towards the east at only 10 miles per hour. And we'll do a storm track on where the most aggressive part of that thunderstorm is. So we'll go 10 miles per hour. We put it into Lisle at 7:45, so here in about 90 seconds. Downers Grove at 8:06, Highland Hills at 8:12, and this is where you can expect some hail as well as some potential wind gusts up to 60 miles per hour. And then Hinsdale at 8:27, Oak Brook 8:32, and then Western Springs at 8:37. So as we get closer to 8:30, this is when this starts to move into the tri-state area, the main interstate here, back off towards west central sections of Cook County. And then this, if it holds together, can make its way a little bit closer to the city of Chicago. This is just round one of multiple rounds that we're expecting. As we mentioned, we are expecting this big blob of thunderstorms that's back off towards the west of us to impact us in a big way as we head towards later on this evening. We think beyond 9 o'clock into the 10 o'clock hour for the city of Chicago. We'll continue to kind of zoom out here to show you this is the main event. Now, all these thunderstorms that have prompted widespread severe thunderstorm warnings, even one tornado warning, that first moves into Rockford here 35 to 40 minutes, and then give it about an hour and a half, and it moves into places like DuPage County, McHenry County, maybe even King County, and then as we get closer to 10 o'clock, it moves into Chicago. So we're going to jump off the string for now. Mary Kay and myself, we're here for you all evening and as late as we need to be. We'll hop on as needed, and once we start getting much more widespread warnings, will be more continuous, which will likely happen, I think, probably closer to the 9 o'clock hour as these thunderstorms start to move in to our northwestern viewing area. Until then, I'm Chief Meteorologist Albert Ramon. We'll return you back to the stream, but we'll see you live here in just a few minutes.
Chicago is real. The people here are real, and they want their news to be real.